Well, this is a look, isn't it? So this is going to be a get ready with me video, and it is going to be right from coming out of the shower, skincare, what I'm going to put on my face, and possibly what I'm going to wear. This evening I am going to the Anna Edit and Edited Life's book tour, which I'm very, very excited about going to. I think it's going to be a really lovely evening. I think it's going to be a great laugh, but I am also going to meet my friend for a little bite to eat before I go. So I thought I'll turn on the camera, show you what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get ready. And as a little bit of an ode to Anna from the Anna Edit, I'm going to put some yellow eyeshadow on. The dress I've got is kind of yellow, so that was also my thinking behind it, but if I don't wear the dress, it'll still go with the other outfit that I'm going to wear. Let's see. At the moment, you will see I do have a face mask on. I'm currently wearing the number 7 Instant Results Nourishing Hydration Mask. I have spoke about this before. I have made whole videos on battling face masks before, so you can have a little look up there if you're interested in that. Last night, actually, in fact, I wore the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Overnight Hydrating Mask. I got this as a little sample recently when I went to Kiehl's. It's more like Vaseline in there, but it's a gel consistency when you put it on. So I wore that overnight last night, and today I've been out about, done other things. I've just washed my face because I was in the shower, and I popped this mask on just to have a chat with you while it was sinking in. And then I'll wipe my face and start getting ready on my actual skincare. Okay, so I've had this on for probably about 10 minutes now, let it sink in a little bit. I'm going to take my L'Occitane Shea Butter Toner. Shea Butter? Don't know if it is Shea Butter. It's Shea Toner. They don't make this anymore, it's really crap. The reason I'm taking this instead of my Pixie Toner is because this, obviously, you can leave it to sit on your skin and just let it sink in. And I don't want to totally strip away all the moisture that I've just put into my skin. So I like taking this toner just to wipe off the excess of the mask. I've got 2 lovely big friends on my chin there. Do you know what's really annoying? See, at the moment, those 2 spots, they just seem to be going that one to that one, that one to that one. They won't seem to clear. They just jump from one to the other at the moment, and it's doing my box in. Does anybody else do this? When I do it, my other half makes fun of me. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with my Emma Hardy Plump and Glow Hydrating Mist. I spoke about this in my recent Space NK haul. I have been using it. I said I was going to wait till I used up my glossy, but I didn't. I just started using it. And I actually really kind of enjoy it. Is it worth the price tag? It's about £40, I want to say. I'm not saying it's going to do anything dramatically different to your skin that I can see yet, because I've maybe not been using it long enough. But equally, I've really enjoyed using it. I feel very much like it's a really nice feeling. I feel like when I spray it on and I kind of pat it in, I feel something on my skin rather than just a spray of water that dries in. Does that make sense? I'm always a bit sceptical and a bit dubious about very high-end skin products. So you're never going to get me saying, oh yeah, it's worth hundreds of pounds. Like, you're never going to get me saying that. But I am enjoying using this, and I would certainly put it back onto my Christmas list or birthday list or gift list if anybody wanted to pick it up for me again. And if I was feeling a bit bougie and like wanted to treat myself, yes, I would purchase this again. But does it do what it says on the tin? I cannot confirm or deny that. The only thing I will say is it's quite a strong spray. I feel like even the glossy one I've got, they've got that fine mist down to an art now. This is still really quite wet, but I don't mind at the moment because obviously I'm going to put other skincare on and I'm going to rub this in anyway. I couldn't imagine putting this on over the top of makeup though. It would be very, very wet. I am then going to go in with my Kiehl's Iris Extract. Again, I'm not going to pass comment on this as yet. I've only used that much out of it, so I cannot confirm or deny as to whether it is worth the price tag as yet, but I am enjoying using it. And I just pat this all over my face, avoiding the eye area. Initially when I started using it, I was putting it everywhere. And then I read it and it said to avoid the eye area. So that was a little bit silly. But I do really enjoy doing this. My other half thinks I'm mental when he watches me do this. But I feel a bit like if you pat your face, you're getting all the blood vessels going. It's giving you a bit of woo, plumping up there. Now if you felt you were terribly puffy, I personally just have a big round face. I'm never going to get rid of this face, not unless I go and get a facelift or something, but I'm always going to look big and round. That's just me, I've got big chubby cheeks. But I don't mind a little bit of jade rollering, especially the smaller side. I always do it under the eyes. I'm not going to go into great detail about this and sit for 10 minutes doing this because I have to get out the door tonight, and also you don't want to watch this. You don't want to watch someone depuffing their eyes, do you? But with regards to this area, I'm never going to get rid of that. Like, let's face it, that's never going to happen. But I quite like trying to depuff with a nice cool roller under here. I do not do this on a daily, that is the truth. And maybe if I did do it on the daily, it might actually work for depuffing certain areas, but I don't have the time to do it on the daily. So generally what I'll do is just try and do it before an evening out or something like that, like tonight. I mean, there's no point in me kidding that I'm trying to carve cheekbones, because this round face ain't ever gonna have cheekbones. Okay, so once I've spritzed and essenced, I use this. Again, was recently in my haul video. It's the Vitamin C Powerful Line Concentrate. Powerful Strength Line Reducing Concentrate. That is a mouthful. It's basically vitamin C and hyaluronic acid from Kiehl's. And actually this I've probably got just to over a third of using, because I've used it pretty much every day, morning and night, and actually I'm really enjoying this. I've tried some other vitamin C's before and I like them as well. So far I think this is trumping other ones that I've used, but I'm quite intrigued to try the Ordinary. They have a vitamin C one. I want to give that a go before I just all out say this is the one for me. So I use 2 pumps of that, and then I just place it. I think I place the majority on my chin, because that's where all my kind of pigmentation and I feel my brightening needs done. I make sure that I put some on my face too though, obviously. And a little bit below my chin. If there's any excess, I'll just dab it on my nose there. This is warming on your skin when you put it on. You really do feel it. If you have any kind of little open spots or scratches on your skin, it may well nip a little bit, but I think I mentioned before in my Ordinary peel mask solution, that doesn't really bother me if things are a little bit warming or nippy. I feel like it's doing something then. But I really enjoy this almost to the point that sometimes I feel it's so hydrating and moisturising that I like to leave a little bit of time between that and my moisturiser, because I feel like if I put the moisturiser straight on top, it just becomes a little bit thick. So I do this first, and then I'll maybe go in with my moisturiser once I've done my hair or dried my hair or something like that. For the purposes of this video, I'm just maybe going to go make a cup of tea and then I'll come back. Just going to pop on a little bit of glossybalm.com. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. I feel like everything is suitably sunk in. I really like that, at that, I feel like although I've got blemishes here, my skin is nice and bright and luminous, and I really like that little regime that I've been doing at the moment. I will either go in with Glossier Priming Moisturiser or the Kiehl's Super Multi Corrective Moisturiser, but this has SPF 30 in it. I don't feel that I need that because I will be going out at 6 o'clock at night tonight and there will be no sun. There's never any bloody sun in Scotland anyway. So in saying that, I have my sample of the Wrinkle Warrior from Kate Somerville. I forgot there. The 2-in-1 moisturiser. So I'm actually going to try this out just now. It might be a dangerous thing to do because if my skin doesn't like it, I don't know what will happen. Let's do it anyway. So I'm going to go with this because apparently this is meant to be the one that if you're going out of an evening, you have an event, then this would be one that you would pop on. It's a gel kind of formula. It's pretty much see-through on my skin. Oh look, you can see it there. So I'm going to pop this all over. Okay, feels nice. Oh, it smells funny. It's got a really fresh, like almost cut grass smell. I wonder what that is. So I'm kind of like nervous about this evening, not going to a book thing or seeing like Anna Newton or anything like that. Like she's not going to know who I am. But I am going to meet my friend. He's coming along with me, Chris. I have a video coming up with Chris actually. If it's not already up, if it's up, I will link it. If it's not already up, it will be coming, I promise you. And I've known him since I was like 10 or something. We've known each other a long time. And it was hilarious to make. So he's coming along with me, but we're also going to meet these people that have said that I've never met before. These are the people I only know through Instagram and like the internet. So it's a little bit scary. So I'm a little bit nervous. That's quite nice actually. I like the feeling of it. Again, very pricey. It's just a little sample I've got, but I do quite like that. I think that feels really nice. So that's what I was popping on today. Not normally what I'd pop on, but I thought, well, you know, we're going fancy tonight. I'm then going to go in with my Kiehl's Creamy Eye treatment. This is the avocado one. What I do is I take a little bit on my finger, rub them together, my ring fingers, till it makes a kind of oil on your finger, and then I just pat it under here, and I sometimes bring it up onto my brow bone just to help matters. Now I'm quite generous with this, shall I say, because I have got thinner under eye skin now as I get older, but also I just feel like it makes makeup go on so much better if I've got really good moisturisation under my eyes. And again, I like patting this part of my face. I do this at night as well when I'm putting on my night creams. I really like bringing a bit of blood flow to this area. There'll probably be dermatologists watching this being like, what are you doing? Like, you're just pulling all that area. You're gonna end up with terrible crow's feet. Oh God. But that's what I do. I'm just letting you know. So next up, usually what I would do is let that sink in again, my eye stuff, and go ahead and do my hair. So I'm gonna very quickly do that just now. It should have a little bit of a wave in it because I curled it yesterday. Hold on. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of a wave in it. So, I'll maybe just add in a few freshened up curls and then I will come back to you. Okay, so I've freshened up a few of my curls. They are relatively tight in areas, but the reason that I'll leave them like that is because my hair is poker straight. Absolutely poker straight. They will fall out. I've not put any hairspray on them. All I've sprayed is some dry shampoo into the roots to give it a little bit of volume. So for that reason, I will leave them at the moment and then give them like a run through with my fingers properly before I leave the house, and hopefully that'll work. Okay, so let's get on to face, shall we? I'm just gonna put my headband back in just so you can actually see my big moon pie. I'm gonna start off with the Kiehl's Glow Formulator. Again, spoke about this one in my haul, but I hate it when people do hauls and then you never see the product again. You think, well, did it work? I have been enjoying this actually. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be very dark on my skin, but actually it's not too bad at all. So I'm just putting this down as another layer of hydration, and then I am going to put a foundation on the top. I'm not going to use It Cosmetics CC cream today for the simple reason I think it might be a little bit light, like in colour, and I want to look like a little bit more bronzed, just a tad. I am using this after all. There we go. So it's not going to be the bog standard It Cosmetics CC cream this evening. I'm going to go back to an old favourite which is very nearly done, and it's the Instant Radiance foundation from number 7. Mine's is in Warm Ivory. If I am going somewhere where I feel it deems to have a proper foundation on, this is usually the one I go for. This or Urban Decay's Naked foundation, but nobody's really spoke about that for a while. And it has just got Eel Figris, very, very dark. I'm gonna look like a plum with yellow eyeshadow on. So I've got a sponge and I'm gonna use that to pop my foundation on. It is a dampened sponge. This is a slightly warmer tone of foundation for me, but it isn't heavy coverage. So it does exactly what I need it to do. It covers, but doesn't look like I'm a cake face, which is kind of what I go for. So this does just give me a little bit more colour than my pasty face, which I quite like. And I think it's really glowy, as well as having the glow hydrator underneath, but obviously it's a Radiance foundation and I think it works wonders. My mum uses this too, and she is a bit older than me. She's a different age range from me, and so there you go. If I told you, she would kill me. For concealer, I am going to stick to Glossier under the eyes, but I'm going to go for the Revolution Conceal and Divine on this bad boy. I've came to the decision that I do not like this under the eyes, but for covering pigmentation and any bad breakouts, it's phenomenal. I was on the fence for a while because I think the initial time I tried it, I had a really bad spot as well, and it covered it beautifully. But I remember by the time I'd finished the video, I thought, I'm not sure about that under my eyes. So the last time I made a video with a full face of Revolution, if you haven't seen it, up here somewhere, I maybe came across a little bit negative about it. And the truth is, that's because I don't like it under my eyes. It's not for me. I am too old for it under my eyes, and it doesn't work. If you are younger and that's the look you want to go for, a really baked, caked face under the eyes, then yes, it will work. But for covering breakouts or pigmentation, it's phenomenal. And I can't knock it for that. So I continue to use it. I didn't want it to seem like, oh, you're using it, but you said you didn't like it in that video. I do like it, but for a different reason. And it is a concealer at the end of the day. It's to conceal things. And if you have dark circles under your eyes, then that might be the case. But I have two dry eyes and I have two old eyes to actually peel it off under my eyes. So for that reason, that's why I'm using it on my spots. Funny how you get spots and wrinkles. How unfair is that? And then, of course, old favourite, Glossier Stretch Concealer. They've changed the shade names of this. Don't know if I've mentioned that before. I went on the other day to check out some stuff because they've got new Glossier Play, and I just went on to check all the other stuff out. Like, what else could I pick up instead of just picking up Glossier Play? What will I use again? And they've changed the shade range of this, so they have more shades now. And I'm sure on it said if you used light before, then you'll be like C11 or something now. So it's quite straightforward, but just in case you ever hear me talking about the stretch concealer in light, they have actually changed the shade range of that. I am all the way to the top on this now, I can't get any more out. Glossier Quartz? Yes, Quartz, couldn't remember there. I try and stamp it on, sometimes I just sweep it on. I'm not going, like I would use a different one, but the other ones I've got are maybe kind of pinky, and because I'm doing a yellow look on the eye, I didn't want to go pinky on the cheek because I thought that might look a bit like a paint box. Now on the cheeks, I might well add a kind of bronzer at some point. So I'm going to use Glossier Storm, their cloud paint, and it's a kind of, it looks quite red here, but I find it to be more of a kind of terracotta brown red instead of like paint box red or a plum pinky red. So therefore I'm just using that very sparingly on my cheeks. So I normally zoom in to let you see what I'm doing with my eyes, but this is going to be very quick. I am wearing yellow eyeshadow, which is a bit out of the ordinary, but this is not meant to be difficult. So therefore I am not zooming in to show you inner corners and all that kind of stuff, because this is supposed to be like get ready and get out the door. This is practically real time as I show you this, and at the moment I think it is 5:15 and I need to be out of the house for 6. That's loads of time. I'm going to start off with the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Copper as a bit of a base. I know copper is more of an orangey tone, but I think it will just work for the yellow to stick to. I think that will actually give it nice shimmer and a nice effect. So I'm going to do that first. It's like a nice shiny penny. I love this stuff. And I just smoosh that in. I am not careful about it. I don't see the point. This is very much a kind of go-to summer look for me. So that just gives me a little bit of glimmer, shimmer, but also a bit of a sticky base for something to stick to. So I'm going to be using a multitude of eyeshadows here. Not a multitude, it's easy, I promise. But I'll be using a few palettes and single eyeshadows, just so you get the idea of it. So initially I'm going to go in from the Heat Petite palette with Vibrate, this kind of like, I don't know. It's funny, it looks relatively beige in here, but actually on my eye it looks relatively orange. And I'm just going to run that through the socket just to give me some definition before I start plopping on loads of yellow everywhere. I'm then going to take the Mini Rose Gold palette from Revolution and I'm going to go in with this lovely mustard colour. I'm taking it on a fluffy brush. I'm not doing it with a kind of stiff brush like I did in my last video. I want this to be kind of blown out, and then I'm going to add in quite a striking yellow. So I'm just going to pop that kind of all over. I want this to look like a wash of colour as well. I don't want it to look too precise. I've said that before. I like washing colour over the eyes rather than doing absolutely perfect eye looks. I remember when I was growing up, it was always like if you do barely there makeup or no makeup days, you know, that kind of, oh, like you've not even really tried. Even if you were doing like a dark smoky eye but it looked like you just got up and smushed it on, that was always the cool way to do it. So I think in my mind the mentality is still that. So psh, that's me to a T. I'm then going to take MAC's Chrome Yellow. It is bright yellow. So I would say go with a light hand, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to go with a light hand. So we'll just see how this goes. For this one, I am going to use a bit of a stiffer brush, like more of a shading brush. Is that what you call it? Is it shading brush? It's basically a flat brush, so you could pack on colour. So I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to pack this on here. I'm then going to go back in with another like fluffy brush, and I'm going to probably wash the yellow all over. So again, we're just going everywhere. It shouldn't be quite as dramatic because I'm using like obviously a fluffier brush, but I just want that colour to be everywhere. But the reason I wanted to put down something first was because I want there still to be a definition, because I've got relatively hooded eyes. I never thought I used to have hooded eyes until I kind of got into my 30s and thought, oh, look at my eyes, they've all sagged. So I'm going to go in with Hot Spell and Vibrate from the Heat Petite palette, just to kind of give me a little bit more definition in the crease again. And then with a very clean, fluffy brush, I'm just gonna go around these edges. Just to blend it out a bit. Going back in with this mustard one under my eye this time. And again, I really like to smoke out my eyeshadows under here. I'm gonna use a tiny bit of the Chrome Yellow from MAC and just accentuate under here. Okay, so far I really kind of like how that's going. Okay, I'm sorry if I've moved slightly, my memory ran out, so I had to get another memory card. So that's what I'm going to do for eyes, and I'm going to put lashings and lashings of mascara on. That's my plan anyway. I'm going to try the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. This was something I got sent in my latest in beauty box, so we shall see. If this doesn't work, I'll go back to my old favourite, as you know. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying because that is a very nice mascara and it's probably pretty damn expensive. I have put a little bit of inner corner highlight as well. I forgot to do that before I put my mascara on, and I have used Becca's Moonstone, their highlighter. Okay, so I'm going to go in with some Hoola bronzer, just very lightly as a bit more of a blush. I think that'll be me finished in just lips, and that'll be me. Just ever so slightly. Anybody who are like hardcore bronzer lovers will be like, you've not even got any bronzer on. But to me, that's enough. And for lips, I'm going to use I spoke about this in my kind of European haul. It's Douglas, and it's their Soft Matte Effect lipsticks. It's got one of these kind of spongy topped applicators. But it's this lovely kind of brown red kind of 90s supermodel vibe, and I am absolutely all about that, especially with yellow eyes. Why not? Okay, so that's the lip. I've actually blotted quite a bit off. I'm not sure if this goes. I might end up just putting a balm on, but I'll see how I feel. And once I've done that, I will be on my way, and probably very late. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed watching it.